welcome back to episode 2 of Two Hellas or Verona. Today we're taking on Inter Milan and we're going to have a quick look at what I've done in the transfer window. It's been interesting. I've made a few boo-boos. Forgot it was Italy. Signed a couple of players that aren't going to get to play games. As you can see, we have a couple of players who are, after being recommended to us, I brought them in on trial because they were free transfers. I said, why not, bring in a few tasty players. Not a whole lot going on transfer-wise at the minute. One of our high potential youngsters looks like he's gone out on loan to Potenza. Transfer history-wise, since you were here last, we've brought in Matteo Castrari from Hertha Berlin, a left-back who, in my Hertha Berlin save, where I was playing as what I was called Hertha Hero, never got a look in. Came up in one of my recommended signings. Looks a decent left-back. So we're going to give him the opportunity. We also signed Nelson Azevedo, who is a Belgian, who's gone out on loan to Potenza. I think, no, we're not. No, I was going to say maybe we're affiliates with Potenza. We're not. They just seem to want all our players. Left winger, is a winger / attacking midfielder. Gone out on loan, see if he gets on. Cost nothing. Not a whole lot of wages. It's all good. Then we went and signed this guy who, goalkeeper, Brazilian. You can probably see where this is going. I thought he had a second nationality. He does not. So that's unfortunate. He's gone out on loan to Mantova, because I misread the rules. I thought if I loaned him out, I could register the guy I signed after him. But we're going to come back to him in a second. Weigand. We went and signed this young Hungarian striker, because everyone knows how much I enjoy Hungary. His name is Akas Shenderi, who looks, I think this guy's going to be quite good. He's got 15 finishing at 16 years old. We signed him from Pakash. Why not? 110k. See if he gets on. Give him the number 6, because why not? This is the guy we signed as our right back option. Brought him in on loan, which is even more soul destroying. He looks decent. We have a potential future free fee of 3.2 million, which if we end up with the money, I might just sign him full time, because we have. So I made the same mistake twice, essentially. After we signed Rafael Puradare, the Brazilian goalkeeper, I read the rules and thought that it said I could loan a player out and then I could register my Argentinian right back. Turns out that is not what the rules say, which we'll get to in a second. We did get rid of Chichen. Sold him for 32.5k. Yeah, 32.5k. He wasn't good enough to play for us, so 32.5k is better than no K. Then we got rid of Berardi, who is the backup goalkeeper who's never really played games. He's gone back to Series C and playing for the same team as Chichen. As you can see, London Perude here 4 days after our world class potential right back came in. Still couldn't register him, so I was like, okay. So then we tried to sell Lazovic, who's gone to Pisa. Would have technically been our best left wing back, which is a position we're playing. So I loaned him out. Thought, that's grand, I can register the other guy. No, you can't. Nope. Don't let FM tell you that. I also didn't realise that he had just signed for us, so he was a bit annoyed when I tried to get rid of him. Which, don't make the same mistakes I did. I think what we're going to be able to do in January is get rid of, because he can't even play for the under 20s, which is really, really annoying. What we're going to do is, not him, Batono, who is a Burkina Faso non-EU player. Yeah, it's definitely going to have to be gotten rid of. Him or Ekuban. I'm going to see about recalling them and getting rid of them. Because they're not going to get EU nationality anytime soon. So the two of them potentially are going to get recalled, and potentially get to register our backup right back, which would be very, very nice. We have had a couple of players we were looking at. There was a central midfielder that we missed out on to Leicester, I think it was. So Leicester picked up this central midfielder that we wanted. We had an Icelandic centre-back who had 5-star potential. He went to Kievo. There was also a Argentinian/Italian winger who I think ended up going to Cambridge. Of all clubs, Cambridge took a player away from us. That is the most infuriating thing in the world. We have played one competitive match since we were here. We played against Empoli and we beat them 1-0. Sufyan Amrabat absolutely destroyed the ball with his goal. It was spectacular. And we started with Pazzini, who didn't have a great game, did have a bit of a fantastic 7 minutes against our under-20s, and scored twice. So I was like, maybe we give him an opportunity to play at the start of the season. And he didn't really do an awful lot. So we were like, okay, well, we're not going to play him for the Inter Milan game. We're going to go for a little bit of a tactical change. Sort of. We're not going to play with a target man. We're playing with a pressing forward, and we're playing Barini up front instead. So I've decided to take Stepinski, move him from complete forward to advanced forward. Because I think if I had a complete forward and a pressing forward, they're going to be two in each other's way. So this is what we're going with. We've gone for a DM as well, because we're going to play cautious. It's a tiki-taka that we're going to play today. We do have... It's not that one. It is this one if we decided to play with wingers. But as I said previously, we don't have wingers. So we are starting today's game with Radunovic in goal, who I think is... No, he's Atalanta. That's fine. Then we have Pavel at centre-back with Kumbula and Gunter as the centre-back trio. Ajapong and DeMarco as our wing-backs, with Veloso playing as the DM. Pessina and Amrabat as our central midfield. Stepinski and Borini starting up front. Boschetti is going to sit on the bench today because he is picked up a little bit of a knock. Gunter is also not 100% fit, so there's a possibility he'll be coming off. Esieric is going to sit on the bench because they don't really have anywhere to play him. Castrari is going to sit on the bench because why not? Salcedo sitting on the bench again today. Might get an opportunity. Pazzini is ex-Inter Milan, if I'm not mistaken. He is indeed. There is potential for him to come on if needs be. And Zenderi is going to sit on the bench as well. You know, our 16-year-old Hungarian striker sits on the bench because our 30-year-old striker, who we paid a lot of money for, is suspended. We've got a couple of players in on trial, as you can see. Mile Jedinak is on trial. Doesn't actually, interestingly, brought him in on trial because I thought he'd have English nationality. He does not. He's only completed 56 days. He's been in England 8 years. Okay. I don't think we're going to sign him. He's not that great. So that's how we're lining up. We're going into this game. Fabio Brini has been in actually decent form? Question mark? He's been acceptable during his time in pre-season, and we've given this is pretty much the team that started against Empoli, bar Barini. I think he's the only change. Whereas Inter haven't had to play in the cup yet, so they have Bastoni, Eriksson, Sensi, and Romelu Lukaku all making their debuts today, and they've Winchbag Alexis Sanchez sitting on the bench, and Esposito's on the bench, and Ashley Young, and Ranocchia, and Borelli. Okay, this is a very, very strong Inter Milan side. So I'm going to... we're underdogs. Go and cause an upset. Nope. The players aren't hating me, which is ideal. We've actually kind of picked up a couple of extra players that like us, which is, that's what you want to see. You want your players to enjoy being a part of your club. The team cohesion is still not great, but managerial support's gone up a little bit. It did say we had a couple of unhappy players. They weren't popping up here, so I don't know what they were unhappy about. But we have 10 players that currently like us, 17 that don't, that don't have an opinion on us. Which, it's fine. It's fine. We actually recently just had 3 players jump into the highly influential, Silvestri being one of them. Less than ideal. Not a player I'm overly interested in starting. I think Rajunikovic is the goalkeeper that we're going to probably use. I did think Silvestri was going to be the one we'd start with. I've kind of decided we're going to go for the on loan younger keeper because I think he has more potential and we could buy him in the future maybe. I forgot they had scootR. They have a very strong team. This is a very, very strong Inter Milan team. They're playing a target man pressing forward combo. I know that's what the players are probably best at, but I don't know if I'd have the 2 of them playing like that. Brescia are beating Fiorentina. That's a bit... did not expect to look up into the top left corner and see Brescia winning against Fiorentina. Although I suppose Fiorentina aren't as good as they once were. But, it's fine. Our keeper makes a fantastic save. And we've managed to get rid of the ball. Stepinski gets it to Barini, who gets absolutely demolished by Asamoah. But this is fine. They're playing double playmakers, which, at least one's an advanced playmaker. One is deep lying. Lazio are leading in their match as well. It's been a very, not very, but it's been a mildly boring game. It's been 7 shots total, 5 on target. All of Inter shots been on target. At the start of this game, I would have definitely taken a draw. Please with how things are going, keep it up. The strike force, not having a great day today. Nor is DeMarco, who has he was disappointing in the game against Empoli. I was hoping that he'd step up in the game against Inter. He hasn't, and we do have Castrari on the bench, who, if I bring Castrari on, I think that's going to be one of his first appearances ever with me managing him, and I did 5 or 6 seasons in the beta in FM19 as Hertha manager. I think he played like 1 game before I got rid of him. I meant to take Craig Gunter off and I forgot. Boschetti is going to come on for him. Barini is going to come off for Pazzini. Pazzini is going to come on as a target man, but we're going to have him on support because I don't want him running around too much. Don't want him to break, essentially. We're going to leave the substitutions at that for now. 68 minutes in. Drop a bit of praise. We're doing well, lads. Pacina's overwhelmed, and now Inter have a corner, which Skriniar volleys just wide. 10 minutes left. We're going to make our final change. A lot of our players are dying, so in theory, I should consider taking one of them off. But am I gonna? Kind of want to take we put him back to complete forward. Maybe that'll help. I'm going to take DeMarco off. I'm going to bring on Castrari. Can you be a complete wing back? Yeah, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. So Castrari comes on to make his debut. Going to ask a bit of creativity right at the end. Playing cautious. So I don't want him to go too mad. Boschetti. Castrari gets his first touch. No, I think he played a friendly game. Veloso gets it out to Ajapong. He looked like he tripped over the ball. Lukaku being 14 foot tall. Alexis Sanchez, easy for the keeper. Lazio are 3-1 up against Udinese. And it looks like we have drawn with Inter Milan on the opening day. That is a fantastic result. I am very proud of the lads. It's not a result I expected, but it's the result I hoped for. And I'm going to give out to Barini because he was shocking. Ideally, Barini would piss off because he is costing us a small fortune in wages. I don't really want to spend that much money on him in wages, but you know, like if you look at the wages, he's on 77k. Fabio Barini, how in sweet baby Jesus is Fabio Barini getting paid that much money? The man has never done anything in terms of football in his entire career. He scored 35 goals, and he's 28, and he's a striker. A striker who just. Anyway, I'll take a draw. That's fantastic. Delightful. That is exactly what we wanted to see. I think now, I don't really want to do the Cagliari game because then the episode's going to be way too long. So what we might do is come back for. I don't want to jump too far ahead, so we're going to do like Bologna. No, we skip September. Genoa and Roma, unless the transfer window turns out to be an absolute mayhem, and then we'll just do one of these games, maybe. Or we come back and do Roma, Juventus, AC Milan. One of these, two of these three. I think we have to come back for these big games. These very, very large, important games. I suppose Juventus is probably the one that makes the most sense because it's a rivalry. They're also the best team in Italy. We'll see. We'll see what we decide. But if you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share with all of your friends, and leave it with that comment that you're going to put down below. Who do you think of the players we have signed has the potential to be the best player? It's probably going to be Castrari because he's the only one that's going to be able to play games. These two. You can't see. I'm going to just boop. These two. Azevedo and Purade are both out on loan, so they're not going to be able to get game time. Genderi could end up being the one that plays a lot of football, you know, maybe. And then Weigand at the moment isn't actually registered. So, yeah. Right, UCL. So he is one of our. What's going on? Why are all these players that I have on trial registered as our players as well? Not sure what's going on. Anyway, comment down below. Which of these players do you think is going to be the signing of the season? Bearing in mind we also do have a little bit of time left in the transfer window, being like not manager movements, transfer window. We have like 4 weeks. 3 weeks maybe? 1 week. Oh, we have 1 week. 1 week and 1 day. So it's a lot less than expected. Right. Okay. Yeah, so do leave a comment down below. And I will see you in the next one.